Hey guys, you're tuning into the Mina B Podcast. It's your girl, Mina B, and I am back with yet another fun-filled episode. So, where to find me? At the Mina B Podcast over on IG. Be sure to click the link in my bio so that you guys can find all the links to the podcast platforms of your choice that you want to listen to my show on, because I am pretty sure the show is streaming there. So yeah, be sure to go over to my page and do that. Of course, if you are new to the show and you don't know about the YouTube, feel free to head over to YouTube to watch the episode if you'd like. Rate, subscribe, leave comments over on Apple Podcasts. Be sure to rate, subscribe, and comment as well. Comments are warranted, much appreciated, and this is how we keep my show going, honey, okay? So, I am back, y'all. I am utterly exhausted. Just came back from Vegas, but I had to jump on to do a quick episode with you guys. So you have me solo dolo this episode, but that's all right. Y'all like me anyway. So yeah, just got back from Vegas and I had an amazing time with my girlfriends. My little sister was in town. So yep, shout out to her because y'all just got to see her on the last episode. So yeah, we all went to Vegas to have a little spring break. Our spring break plans just kind of worked out that way that we got to take a little quick getaway for spring break. So lately, y'all, I've been really just doing the things that make me feel good to me that I want to do, being around the people that warm my heart, keeping my energy in places that they belong. You know, you just kind of know where your energy belongs. You kind of know who loves you, who fucks with you, what feels good, what doesn't feel good. And I am adamant about continuing to do all the things, every and anything that feels good to me. Fix this hair, honey. So, I just feel like at this point, life is so short and I'm just like, I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to plan things out the way I like. Of course, the way God works, everything doesn't necessarily go your plan. But as far as just keeping some goals, trying to cross some things off my to-do list and enjoy myself and do what makes my soul feel good, then that's all that matters. So that's my tidbit for the week, y'all. Do what makes you feel good. Take that trip, hang out, have that drink, have that snack, just do things within moderation. That's my motto. So yeah, we in this thing. So yeah, after spring break and just talking to my girlfriends and just thinking about seeing stuff on Instagram, we always pull great topics from Instagram. I was just saying to myself, like, do we date who we like or who likes you? So I asked my girlfriends at dinner last night, and one girlfriend says, I want to like a nigga, but I want him to like me more. The other one says, I have to have some type of attraction. Now, I have been told from the elders that you should, this was advice, that you should date a man that likes you more, that wants you more. I've heard that repetitively over my life, and I just find that so interesting. Interestingly enough, that I went ahead and did a quick poll over on IG, and I told everybody to keep it a buck. So, date who you like or date who likes you. It was a close call by 10%. So 55% of the folks said date the person that you like, and 45% said date the person who likes you. Now, mind you, I've only had that poll up for 9 hours, so it definitely could change, but majority rules, so everyone says date who you like, right? But what I found very interesting about that is I asked if you had to choose personality or looks. 85% of you said personality, and then 15% of you said looks. Now, I find that to be a little troubling because that means to me, personality is not looks, right? Personality is it's mental, it's sapiosexual. Perfect example, y'all. I'm a sapiosexual. I do prefer to date somebody who sparks my interest mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. If you can get to my brain, you can basically get to my heart. So, it is what it is there. However, have I dated someone utterly ugly that I couldn't wake up to every morning? No, that was never the case. But I have dated a man that I may not have been 100% attracted to physically. Meaning I was more so attracted to his mind. But when I put a poll up and most of y'all say that you gotta like the person, don't looks gotta do with it too? Or y'all capping? Because I feel like some of y'all are capping. Anyway though, with that being said, of course, I've heard from the elders and throughout my life that you should date a woman should date a man that likes her more, loves her more. She'll get more out of it. And so to speak, she doesn't have to give as much. He's going to put in more effort because he wants to be with you. He loves you 100% all across the board, will do anything for you. And, in modern times, that's not necessarily the case, because of course, women are more independent. Women are working towards their goals every day. They're building households. Some women are even going 50-50 with their man. And I always say, to each his own. That wouldn't be me. But at the end of the day, there's certain things in certain relationships that work for others and that don't work for yours. You know what I'm saying? And I always think in terms of when you date on your scale, when you date on your level, you know what I'm saying? When you date on your level. But also, man, I'm not even going to get into that. We're going to get into that part later, just the financial aspects of, relationships, dating, even into marriage, how that goes. But anyway, so y'all basically saying y'all don't fuck with a dude that don't look good, but then y'all like dudes that got personality. I'm going to be honest with y'all, ladies. All the men that's out there that are eligible and single and available and willing to do amazing things for you may not, and it's more often than not, be super attractive. Like, that's just what it is. I do think that, and I wouldn't have said this maybe like 6-7 years ago, you know what I'm saying? But I think that with growth and with time, and by no means am I saying you're gonna date a dude that looks like a gremlin. My thing is, can I wake up to this man and see his face every day? That's always how I've played it. Always felt like, if I was is he attractive enough? I've never been the type to say, oh my God, I'm gonna date a total ugly dude just because he likes me, just because he's giving me attention, So with that being said, I just kind of feel like it's shallow to say that you would only date somebody that's handsome, because that's not the case, y'all. And and there are women that definitely say, that's all they want to date. Just like women, it's preferences, right? Just like men who want to date, voluptuous women or a certain kind of ethnicity, which is, a whole other topic within itself, but everybody has preferences. So it's also kind of hard to put the thumb on it and say like, okay, like, y'all are just being choosy, because men do it too. Men do it too. And I think that it's always a question, it's always an issue when women are making the choices for themselves and saying, hey, I won't deal with this. I don't want to put up with this, or I have to date this type of man, whatever, whoop-de-whoop. And I think we always get backlash for it because, it's almost like a caveat where we're independent, we're working hard, we're doing this, we're doing that in this modern society, and we still want somebody to match us, if not more. And I feel like a lot of men, and we're going to call it for what it is, Black men in our community, they don't necessarily want us to, have it all and more than them. But then because they want us to need them, but then at the same instance, you do have a couple of bitch ass niggas in the community that, feel like you need to, because you come with this, you need to take care of a good portion of the finances, a good portion of this. You should be picking up dates. And that's also not the tea, So again, my experience with dating someone is just saying like, their mind is what attracted me to them. Their conversation, their personality, a plus is them being fine as fuck or, palatable, so to speak, and I think I've done pretty good. I really don't feel like I've dated too many ugly, like, this is going to sound fucked up, ugly dudes. I'm not saying ugly dudes, but dudes that are not necessarily the scale of the who's a guy I can refer to? The Idris, the Idris kind of look, the Christian Keys kind of look, like if you light skin, dark skin, Spanish, Jamaican, African, Nigerian, whatever the fuck it is that y'all like these days, whatever. I don't even think we have an ideal man, because I know I don't have an ideal man. I like a man that is about his business, is a leader in his community, has great relationships with his friends, have great relationships with his family, his children, if he has them, is all around a dude that can walk into a room and hold some presence and make me feel wanted, protected, and loved all in that same instance. So that's just me all day, every day. And of course, what women would not take a tall, chocolate, dark. Let me shut the fuck up. Let me shut up. I'm being stupid. But anyway, so of course, the personality is what does it for me. If I get the looks too, that's great. That's dandy. It is what it is. But I have definitely dated somebody I haven't been attracted to. And I think that, and that's just, to be honest, y'all, that has been when maybe I was in a lonely spot or a vulnerable spot or whatever the case may be. So it's happened about, I want to say about 2 times. One time it has happened and it's just cool. We're just cool. And then another time it has happened where the nigga tried to front on me. Like he could have bagged the bitch like me to begin with. It was just kind of funny. But of course it was a little bit of male ego involved because I was trying to, separate myself from the situation. I will say it is imperative to date who you like. And it doesn't have to do with looks, but knowing that you really fuck with that person, y'all mesh on a level, there's a good energy there, because energy is so important, but don't lead anybody on. And I think it gets into a fine line when you're dating somebody or fucking with somebody who does not have anything to add to you because you don't like him like that. It doesn't matter if they spend some money, take you out on a date. And I'm saying this to the ladies, and I'm going to get into the men part too, but to the ladies, just because he dates you, pays for things, whatever the case may be, you got to be careful with that as well, because that kind of plays into gold digging, so to speak, or not keeping it a buck with him and leading him to believe that, you really fuck with him like that. That's why I always say, have a conversation, keep it a stack. But if you didn't have a conversation and you're doing that, you're dead wrong. And that's just what it is. Men, fellas, black brothers, this is what y'all do though. Y'all tend to fuck with a girl as a space holder for the next relationship or whatever it is that you got going on. You got this one, you got that one, but you holding on to that one. That's the one that you could really fuck with and have a build with and foundation with. But there's just something about her that hasn't let you go there yet. Or you're in a place in your life where you're not ready. So that's why you run in between 3 or 4 females to, appease an ego, appease an appetite, so to speak. So their men do it too. And I feel men are a little bit more strategic in how they do it because, they're not necessarily as forthcoming with not really liking a girl. Like a man can fake a whole relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like fake a whole relationship. So I've seen it done. We've seen it done plenty of times, But again, like I said, for the ladies, if I was in a lonely place. If you're in a lonely place or you just in a gold digging place, don't lead that man on. Just let him know you single. And if he can respect that, then that's a different story. But just keep it a buck. I think everybody can avoid a lot of this shit if they just kept it a stack, So on the poll that I ran on Instagram, I also asked, can you grow to love someone who wants or loves you more? And 92% says yes, 8% say no. And I have to agree. I do think that you grow to love people in general, especially the more genuine relationships. If your foundation is built upon love, not so much love, but friendship. You love your friends. You fuck with your friends. You're on this playing field of really getting to know each other. We get into build, understand, overstand, trying to get those for me, when I've been in a relationship and I built my foundation on a friendship, I really wanted to get to the nitty gritty of that man and wanted to know what made him tick, what hurt him, would reveal itself over time, but it's, again, building that foundation. So if you have that friendship, that could grow into something amazing. That could grow into a marriage or your dream relationship or ideal relationship rather. So yeah, I definitely think that you can grow to love somebody who loves you more. It kind of goes back to that old school not old school standard, but things that I've heard from, older women, that when they've married or if they've been with somebody was because the man loved them more. The man would do any and everything to woo a woman and court a woman, and get her to understand that she's the only woman. So it's almost a fairy tale, so to speak. So that's why it's hard to find, but it's understandable when people can vote like this, because they actually understand the dynamics. Like, okay, like, you know what, this person is really showing me everything that I need to see. Why not take the chance on that person? I've been there. Trust me, I've been there. So the last part was, can lust turn into love? Y'all killing me. 86% say yes, while 14% say no. And I'm starting to think like, this is the group that it's lusty. That person was supposed to be your, summer buddy, and it just ended up into being more. You guys, sometimes when you're intimate or you want to be intimate with a person, that can overdrown the relationship or situationship or whatever y'all want to call it at that time. But also, I'll be honest, I feel in more healthier situations that lust, because of that sexual attraction and physical attraction, can actually take it to another level. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I had a boo from like over a decade ago, and you in your 20s, you're just doing whatever. I was like 24, 25, I was just having a good time at the time, like Lori Harvey shit. But him and I had such an amazing bond just off the first time of meeting each other. It was crazy. And of course, it was a take you home after the club situation. Okay, I was young. But it was kind of funny because we built that bond off of being intimate. Not to say like we had to be intimate with each other every day, thereafter, but we built a relationship, so to speak, off of that. And it was kind of weird because it was like, I just thought it was going to be over and done with. And it just wasn't. Like, he was there for the long haul, and it wasn't, it also kind of goes back to that saying that, if you have sex on the first night, it's a dub, whatever, then dude's not going to respect you. That's so not the case. Sometimes women want to know what to do. Ladies, I'm sure y'all can agree. Hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think. But, it happens. So, yeah. Been there, done that. Lust can turn into love in, a relationship or just a long-term situationship or a fuck buddyship, whatever it is that whatever floats your boats, you guys, whatever floats your boats. But yeah, I think that it's kind of interesting hearing things and seeing things on Instagram when it pertains to dating, especially as of lately with all this, with a lot of the gurus that are in scandal. It kind of makes you look at things a little bit differently, because it's like, y'all preach one thing and do the other, and it's irritating, whatever. But that's another episode for another day, right? All the bullshit that you learn on Instagram and see on Instagram because everyone's capped. Don't steal that from me, guys. I'm gonna make that an episode, the cap episode, the social media cap episode of the Mina B Podcast. But anyway, so I saw a meme, and I really wish that I could find it for y'all. I saw it a while ago, and it just kind of stuck in my brain. So it was basically saying that women kind of get excited when they meet a dude that does the bare minimum, and they're super, super impressed with the bare minimum. And I'm like, damn. Well, what's the bare minimum? And I posted to my girlfriends, and my girlfriend said, well, what is the bare minimum? I think she said something to the effect, because that minimum or bare minimum looks different to everybody, right? So I was like, when you think about the bare minimum, I'm like, is it just flowers? Is it just a date night every week? Is it, texting consistently? Is it texting and FaceTiming all day, every day? Is it seeing each other every couple of days? Is it seeing each other once a week? What does that look like for you guys? I don't know. I think that I'm trying to put this in the best way, because I typed it out and I'm like trying to say it the best way, but everyone's minimum is different. Some people require luxuries. Some prefer the little things in life. Some women are okay with normal courting, and and that's all. And that's basically all they know. Whereas some women have dealt with provider-esque courtships, and men that have money, and men that do, a little bit more than average guy. So I think sometimes, and I think that that's where that meme came from, or that, quote on IG, I think it came from a place of not understanding that, again, dating on your level, not everybody dates up. There's a good majority, you can see from polls and polls that I've done on IG and even currently, that the views of certain things mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, that to you may not work out. The guy that works at, I don't know, UPS and makes 40 hours a week, does 8 hours extra overtime, is getting paid $22 an hour, like that. Come on. That may not be for you, but that is okay for Nikki or Sheila or Carla, and it works out for them. You understand what I'm saying? Like, to have a date night every night, every week, and to go on a vacation once a year. I think that we got a lot of the shit confused on Instagram, expecting all this luxury, and if he doesn't buy you 5 dozen, roses and sends it to your door and sends you to Bali every week, it's just like, come on, y'all. What are we really talking about? Ain't nobody broke. That's not what we're saying. But I just think that it's a little bit much to say what the bare minimum is, and to be ranking on other people who may not require as much as you do. So that's just my take on that. That's my take on that. But going back to the topic of lust, and of course, the lustiness of relationships, situationships, and dating. I wanted to give y'all a couple of tidbits on knowing when a man is, and this is for the ladies, knowing when a man just lusts after you and really doesn't want anything from you of substance. So I'll sip on that. I've been sipping on a little Amarula cream. It's like to die for, but it's actually kind of strong. No longer it sits, I think, but yeah. It is absolutely delicious. Tastes like almost like a fruit infused Bailey's, if you guys ever had Bailey's cream. But anyway, I digress. Had to sip on that. So I think that a lot of women get caught up in just lusty situations and may really, really like the guy, but is not understanding that all he looks at her for is the lusty aspect. He's not trying to take it any further. So 4 ways to know if a man lusts you or likes you for real. 1, he always talks about how sexy you are, never can give you a decent conversation. I mean, this is a dude that just skirts around things. He doesn't really talk about, it's like, how's your day? How you doing? What you doing tonight? Are you good, sexy? Oh, okay. You so fine. When am I going to see you? When I'm going to take you out? Like, even down to the text messages, it's just that, like, always just that. Very, very surface conversation. And it's always based on your looks, your anatomy. That's definitely a way to know that he's not just attracted to you. He's just lusting after you. He's just trying to fuck you. Okay? So, number 2, hits you late night or last minute for dates or that date night. Now, y'all know good and well when a man hits you late and that is not your regular dude, that's not your boyfriend, that's not your significant other. Y'all know what time it is. I don't even need to explain this further. Y'all know the deal. Number 3. Invites you over immediately after meeting. Like, y'all met on Saturday night in the club. He hits you up on Sunday night like, hey, pull up on me. I'm what? Pull up where? Who's pulling up? But that's what these dudes do. They're gonna ask you to come over the crib. They're gonna, even if you did go out on a date, that first week, you should not be going to his house. It's like you don't know him from nowhere, hole in the wall, nowhere. Y'all don't got no mutual friends. It ain't that type of time. And you know that's not that type of time that you're on. You definitely got to nip that in the bud, ladies. Y'all know what time it is when a dude is offering to you to come to the crib almost immediately upon meeting. No, thank you. Okay, and number 4. So, always wants to be intimate by clarifying, or like number 2, what I said, the late night plans, y'all know the vibes, okay? Because he's texting and calling and being consistent, I think sometimes we get caught up with, because we got the morning text, because we got an afternoon text, because he FaceTime you on his break, or FaceTime you on the way home, or is consistent in his communication, that means he's in. He's all in, because he knows how to be attentive and get the gab. But you also have to read in between the lines. You have to look at the context of what y'all talking about, the context of these FaceTimes and text messages. You know, y'all can kind of read in between the lines when somebody really wants to fuck with you. And I think that a lot of adult women get so caught up in the consistent communication because our hands are on our phones all day. No, that is not the way. You guys have to start looking at actions and seeing what he provides in his actions, not what he says, and not and also during the daytime or during normal hours, normal hours. Anything after 9:00, you already know what it is, period. If he hits you up at 6 for a happy hour or to go to dinner, that's different. But after 9 p.m., you're hitting me to do something and it's not necessarily a weekend or I can't bring my friends. No, that is a dub. Y'all know better. And if you didn't, you heard it here first on the Mina B Podcast. Like, come on now. We got to do better. We got to do better, ladies. You can't let lust, blind you. Now, of course, if you're all in and that's what you want to do, that you're a grown woman, that's what you want to do. But at the end of the day, if it don't feel right, again, we're not doing anything in 2021 that doesn't feel right to us. So learn the cues. Don't get it misconstrued. And stay on top of the game. That's it. Tap in. Done. So... you gotta know, like, is it simple, simply that he likes you, or is he just putting a little effort in with these communications just to fuck? Like, come on now. Like, we gotta kind of know the difference. You gotta see the actions. If he invites you out, if he entertains, like date nights and outings with your friends, or pull up, let's go do something, like, let's go eat, let's go drink, there's just a lot of different ways. Y'all know. So, lastly, because we're going to wrap this episode up pretty quickly. I told you I was going to say my points and slide on out. So I caught about 2-3 days ago a clip from Megan James, who was on the Bad Girls Club and also on Basketball Wives. She's on a new show now called Notorious Queens. And she posed a very interesting thought and point about cheating respectfully. So I'm going to play a quick clip of what was being said, and yeah, we'll get into it.
Cheating respectfully. I never tell my man, like, oh, you can go cheat on me. So cheating respectfully to me is cheating where I don't find out, is having control over your other women, is using condoms and not having babies. Like, cheat respectfully, because believe it or not, your man is cheating. But I'm not leaving my man over a one-night stand with a period. I'll only leave my man for 3 weeks. 3 things. You bring me home an STD, you have a baby on me, or if you gay. Everything else is work outable for me. Yeah. Like, period.
Baby, this thing gonna say, everything else is work outable for me, okay? Period. Okay. So many things. 2 perspectives. How is it... cheating respectfully. Okay, so my thing is this, just leave. Like, if you find, if you know that it's a conversation or it's been said that this person is a cheater or whatever he does, and he, you kind of know, women's intuition is everything. A lot of the time, the women that tapped in and really know what the fuck going on, if your dude is up to no good. If something is off, I don't know, certain dudes, I think it takes a certain dude to have energy that does not shift in his relationship. Like, that has to be a very straight lace. Like, I just fucked the girl. It was strictly pleasure. For that chemistry and that shift to not appear in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't see it. We can't sniff it out. No, nothing. Also, I also think that, no, let me not say that it's a dude that's financially sound or whatever, because I feel like some dudes are financially sound or rich as fuck and they're messy as fuck. So that's neither here nor there. I just think it takes a certain man to have a certain type of energy and understanding about the energy that's in his home or within his, relationship, that he's not going to shift that, by bringing on the energy from another woman. That is a sound dude. And I'm going to say that there's probably a 20% man, a 20% of a men that can do that, and the 80% will fumble at some point. Okay. I think what Megan is trying to get at is that you don't have an idea, or you don't have a clue that the dude is doing what he's doing, and it's not a deal breaker for her to end her relationship. But my question is, and this is the question I pose, is that if I'm in a foundational relationship and I know what the fuck is going on, and I do find out that he is cheating, and I just don't ever think that there is a reason to cheat if you're in a relationship that is not an open relationship, that is not a polyamorous relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a monogamous relationship, and this is where y'all at. Y'all made the decision to really fuck with each other, especially if y'all live together, especially if you're married. Like, let's call it for what it is. So, at that point, if I know about it, I'm not going to say I'm going to, break it off if we have a lot of shit together, but I want to know why. I want to know what the reason is. And a nigga gonna nig. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what they do. But do all of them? No. I'm not gonna ever sit here and say that on the Mina B Podcast that all men cheat, because I don't believe that. But yeah, we would have to get to the bottom of it, especially if we're in a relationship, or a marriage. It's so crazy to sit here and say that you're gonna walk away. Now, if the term "always a cheater," once a cheater, always a cheater is substantially correct across the board, and he does it again and again, or, a second time or a third time, I don't think I would let it get to a third time, then, counseling ain't really it. This is just a motherfucker that have no respect, at all. And I'm going to say this man, if you cheating on me, you going to have to be a rich motherfucker. I better not be living in no apartment. I better, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that it takes a certain type of dude to really get away with that type of shit, and for a woman to even have that mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you even want to stay in something like that, if it's not a marriage? Just asking for a friend, I'm just asking for a friend. But, okay, again, this also comes from a perspective of a Hollywood/reality star, gold digger type mentality too. And I'm gonna say this: a man being financially set, financially stable, versus a woman just digging for that type of man and does not have anything else going on for herself. Let's be crystal clear about what that looks like. Okay. There's a difference between women that have ambition and women who make this a job or make this a duty of fucking with somebody who got more and only can do for them and they don't do for him. You know what I'm saying? Or for themselves, which, is something that men look for. Men look for women who do for themselves and have a lot. Good dudes do, okay? And have stuff going for themselves and respect her career, respect her hustle or her entrepreneurial goals and efforts, But again, this comes from that gold digger personality. And again, everything goes down to your intuition and how tapped in you are. And if you gotta be really, really clear on what you're willing to accept in your relationship and why. Period. It goes down to knowing yourself, knowing what you're capable of, and knowing what you're capable of enduring. And that's just that. And also, niggas act. Niggas is good actors. Niggas is good actors. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like your relationship is totally sound and the dude cheated on you and it just was like, wait, how? Because I know I've been there with a dude that cheated on me and I just thought that everything was like, and I haven't had too much cheating in my dating life and dating experiences, but I was like, wow, like, when did you have time to do this? So you got to be careful with that shit too, ladies. These niggas is actors. And again, you got to be willing to figure out what works best for you, your relationship and where you at right now. Because I know as a woman who got her shit together and is doing what I need to do for myself, I'm not necessarily putting up with that. That is a lot deeper when you own assets, you got businesses together, you're married. Marriage is a business, so that's a different story. So we have to kind of change the narrative of what we're telling women to do and how to do it, because that is based on a case-by-case basis, period. So, y'all, I'm going to wrap it up because I came on here real quick to say what I needed to say on this week's episode of the Mina B Podcast. So y'all be sure to head over to @the Mina B Podcast over on IG. Be sure to subscribe. Follow me over there. Hit those links up for all the links to the podcast and the YouTube channel. Also, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I need y'all over there. Please and thank you. Send your friends. Tell a friend to tell a friend. All that good stuff. And for inquiries, advice, topics, things that you want to chime in and talk about, or you guys want to dialogue about, feel free to DM me on IG. But for longer things, ask minab@gmail.com. Feel free to touch base with me there. And y'all, I will see you guys the next time on the next episode of the Mina B Podcast. Thank you guys so much for fucking with the show, rating the show, loving on the show, and shout out to my new followers over on Instagram. So I will see you guys on the flip side. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful week. Bye.